All right, before we start this video, I just want to say that if you haven't seen the shot on iPhone short film that we made while we were here in Oregon, just check that out right after you're done watching this video. All the techniques and the settings that I used to create that are taught in their entirety inside of Pocket Filmmaker, a cinematic video course made for iPhone. There's a link down below. All right, enjoy. All right, we're in beautiful Oregon shooting on Lexar's brand new SL500 4TB SSD. Let's see what it can do. Alright, in this video we're going to be making a cinematic travel video on iPhone, in Oregon, on location. The difference with this video and a lot of what we teach inside of Pocket Filmmaker is we're going all out. Like, this is not just a single iPhone. I'm not shooting just on the internal iPhone cameras. We're rigging it up. We're trying to get as many creative shots as we can. So I want to show you the process behind that. And I know this is a little bit unconventional because the best part about shooting on iPhone is that it's all internal. You pull it out of your pocket and you get the shot. I am getting shots like that, and I'll show you those shots specifically, but we're also attaching some third-party lenses. We're using gimbals. We're using these aluminum cases with different mounting points. I have a drone that I've actually attached this to that you're going to see. Let's get into it. So a lot of the stuff in this video specifically is going to be anamorphic. So we have this third-party attachment from SmallRig. Basically converts your main lens into an anamorphic lens. There's the 1.33 times, and then there's the 1.55 times. That's the one currently that I have actually rigged up to the Ronin, so we'll get some shots with that later. But this, I kind of decided, is our mounting iPhone. So we're going to just suction cup it to different parts of the car. We're going to have it mounted to the back so we get some cool POVs. And yeah, this one just kind of gets to bounce around wherever we want to fix it. Then I have a separate iPhone specifically that goes on the Avata 2 FPV drone. So I got a smaller iPhone for that because the Avata is such a light drone to begin with that if you put a iPhone Max on it, it's already like, it's just too much. It can't handle it. So I got the smaller version. We mounted it. It took a while to figure out the exact balance, how to mount it just right. We're not shooting in the Blackmagic camera app like we are with these other iPhones. This one is just stock camera app using ProRes log and then 4K 30 and that wide angle. But it works. Like you don't need the Blackmagic camera app. It's nice to have some more control when you need that. But otherwise, this works just fine. So, got the RS4 Pro, kind of overkill for a phone, I know. iPhone 15 Pro Max, we have an anamorphic lens attachment from SmallRig, a case or cage from SmallRig as well. We got the Lexar SSD 4TB, all plugged in, so everything's being recorded directly to this SSD. And yeah, I mean, that's the setup. Everything right now I'm doing inside the Blackmagic camera app. 60 frames per second, 1/120 shutter speed. I got the anamorphic D squeeze on right now, and it's a great look. So let's get some shots. Something you might have noticed in our iPhone footage is that we're using this extremely wide aspect ratio. Because we used anamorphic lenses for most of our shots, the image is being squeezed by the lens. When it's de-squeezed, we get this beautiful wide image that's great for cinematic pieces like this. What's nice about the Blackmagic camera app when you're doing stuff like this is that you can control your focus manually, something you can't really do, at least not very well, inside of the native camera app. The reason it's a lot easier in this app specifically is because inside of the native camera app, you have to like tap on a subject to focus on it, and if it's too close, it's really hard to like actually grab that focus. Inside of the Blackmagic camera app, you have this little dial right here, and you can just adjust exactly where you want it to focus and get it dialed in perfectly. So I haven't really used a gimbal super often over the last few years, but with the iPhone, it's a great chance to actually bring these two together, especially as we're traveling, we're showing the nature of these different locations that we're going to. Like, I want to show these spots in a really nice, peaceful way, and on a gimbal, you can get a really smooth, clean, like floating effect, essentially. So when I'm using a gimbal with the phone or with any camera, really, I'm using what's called the ninja walk. So basically, I am just going heel, toe, pushing forward, really smooth. I'm locking my arms, so I'm keeping them right here, and I'm just getting that nice, smooth motion. Same goes if you're gonna do maybe a tilt down or a hand motion. You wanna kind of lock your arms and then almost like lean into that motion. When you're using a gimbal, it's not about, you know, doing this. It's about finding your positioning, locking it, and then kind of moving your whole body with the gimbal. So, quick shot right here. I'll show you what I just got. Nice push-in shot, really smooth through these trees. I'm basically using these trees to frame the waterfall. Okay, so we've put this thing through its paces for the last day or so, and it's honestly been awesome. Thinnest SSD I think I've ever seen. 4 terabytes, it's water resistant, it's dust proof. Like, we were just shooting inside of a waterfall. It did totally fine, nothing to worry about there. And I just love the fact that we can shoot directly to it from the iPhone. Like it's super compatible. It works great in that regard. And then if we want to, we can also plug it into an FX3. We can actually have all of our footage just be dumped on this SSD, so we can go and color grade it and edit it. And it's fast, 2000 megabits per second. I think the problem I have with most SSDs is that they're not fast enough and they're not big enough. Have you ever tried to edit off of like an old hard drive or something, but you're editing really big files, or sometimes even like really compressed files? It can't actually fetch that data fast enough for you to edit it. So if you're having a hard time editing and it's lagging a lot, it might be because of the drive that you're using. 4 terabytes, iPhone footage is huge if you're shooting ProRes log specifically. FX3 is big, not quite as big as iPhone, and so having that capacity is huge. Let's see what else we can put this thing through today. Guys, I can't stress enough how challenging it was to actually get the Avata 2 to carry an iPhone on its back like this. Like I said earlier, the Pro Max was just too big and it could not handle it. So I just got the Pro version of the iPhone, mounted it. Shout out to one of our full-time filmmaker students, Kyle, for bringing some tools for me to get it all hooked up. But because of this weight issue, the iPhone couldn't handle any extra lenses or attachments, which meant no external SSD. So I shot directly to the iPhone and then plugged the SL500 in later to transfer all of that footage. So there's, let's see, 7 clips. This first one, which is about 10 minutes long, is 53.37 gigabytes. So all of these clips are taking up a lot of space, about 250 gigabytes, because that's the space that I have on this phone. So I'm going to plug in the Lexar SSD. I'm going to then select all of those, hit the share button right there, and then hit export unmodified originals. Now I just select the Lexar SSD. I'm just going to save it directly to this folder, hit save. And it's going to churn for a little while because that's a lot of footage it needs to transfer, but once that's done, everything's going to be here on this SSD, and then I can delete it from my phone. So pretty efficient, saving some space. So with the iPhone, you obviously have a few different lens options. Once you attach like a third-party anamorphic lens, for example, you're limited to just that main camera, so the 1x lens. But you can actually do 2x, so it goes from a 24mm to a 48mm focal length, and that's kind of what I've been bouncing around between all day. So most is done on the 24mm, just normal 1x focal length, and then if I want to get a kind of a tighter shot to show some more detail, I guess, in whatever scene we're shooting, I'll just switch to the 2x. Still uses the anamorphic, same camera technically, same sensor, but it punches in to 2x and it looks really good. So switching back and forth between those two, you'll have a really great selection of footage to work with once you start putting your edit together. If you guys enjoyed this video, go check out Lexar. I put a link to the 4 terabyte SSD below. Been using Lexar for years. They're awesome. Our SD cards, our Type A, our micro SD cards are all Lexar. Also, if you want to get better at making cinematic iPhone videos, maybe you're just making talking heads for YouTube, maybe you're filming cinematic videos while you're traveling, whatever it might be, go check out Pocket Filmmaker. I've also dropped the link below. Right now you can get it at a really great discount. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.